Good win because there's no such thing as a not not one. You know what? Let me just first praise Northwestern State for playing 3 games in a row and really competing hard. Uh, and you know, winning. We didn't shoot the ball well. Back to our defense, they can run up and down the floor, and they scored 61 against Gonzaga in the second half last night, and we were able to guard them. And in the second half, we out rebounded, but we have just got to shoot the ball better and take care of the ball. So there's a lot of room for improvement for us.
First question to Ryan Root.
Hey, Coach, this team went from having one of their best three-point shooting performances on Monday to probably their worst tonight. Do you credit the defense on Northwestern State's part, or were the shots just not falling tonight?
Maybe it's something they did, but I felt like we took good threes. I thought we got really good looks. They were helping on penetration. I thought Andre's every one he took was a good shot, and they didn't go in. Isaac got some good catch and shoots and didn't make them. So I think Noah in the locker room owned up to taking one bad one, but I know when we take bad ones, and I thought we did a good job there. And when that's going on, we need to be on the glass that much harder. In the first half, we weren't. Second half, we ended up with 16, so we got on the offensive boards better second half.
And when Noah had that collision in the opening minutes and he came back in the second half, he didn't seem too much like himself playing in that second half. Do you think his return may have been fast-tracked a bit, or how do you see his return in that second half?
No, I'm sure that our medical people, they know he was fine. It just he sat 18 minutes, went through halftime, probably got disengaged a little bit. Physically, mentally, it's tough, and he wasn't himself. But several of our guys didn't play well. Like Vova was not at his best. Didn't have a lot of energy. So obviously getting a little stinger or whatever he got didn't help. But I don't think necessarily that was why he didn't play well. He didn't. Or you probably saw it too. It wasn't his active self. So I think he's fine, and we'll get him ready for Arizona State.
What do you think slowed this team down after the 19-1 run in the first half?
I think I'm not sure. I think that our bench really helped us. I think we got off to slow starts both halves, and playing. We need to play big as we get in the league. We got to play our bigs, and they'll throw four guard. It might have been when they went to start playing four guards, and made us hard to. We're still able to defend them, but it kind of made it a little choppy game, more half court, and we weren't able to get transition. And you know what? We didn't make any shots. I just keep going back. You got to make shots. We had a long stretch. We were on 25, I think, and it's like, the ball's got to go in. You got to see it go in, and we're still a little, like I say, young and pressed a little bit. I think when the ball wasn't going in.
And one last question for you. With another big performance from FA, a third straight game with a double-double, how do you think his production is going to transition into Pac-12 play this next week?
I think he's a guy that'll keep getting better. I think there'll be obviously the talent level will go up. There's going to be, both Arizona State and Arizona have, some really good post players. And so it'll be a good experience for him. And I think he'll rise to the challenge. If he doesn't, he'll be fine in competing and carrying. And if he'll make adjustments as necessary.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question, Jamie Bennett.
Hey, Coach. You were talking about, it seemed that a couple guys were low on energy. Do you think it's a little bit of fatigue or a little bit of kind of, the holidays coming up, guys looking ahead a little bit, or maybe even a mixture of both?
Honestly, there's no excuse because Northwestern State played 3 in a row. They had every reason to be fatigued. But that being said, we have to get up after a game. We had to get up at 6:30 in the morning to do our COVID testing. And, the game before, we're up the next morning, and I just don't think you're going to get a good night's sleep after a game. So probably 2 nights before that, then we had them up here early for a shoot-around. We have to go do COVID testing, come back to the gym, practice, lift, a lot of stuff that's going on. So no excuse, but and everyone's having to go through it. But we're young, and I think we look fatigued, and I don't think some guys, I don't like to get up. I'm up actually, but I don't necessarily like to get up and go down and have your nasal swab at 6:30 in the morning.
6 assists to just 16 turnovers. Obviously, not what you want from the ball movement. Was Northwestern State doing a good job blocking off the passing lanes, or is stuff just getting forced a lot? Do you think?
No, you know what? It's hard to get assists if you don't make any shots. So we didn't make any shots. So although we only got 33% of our made baskets were on assists, but if I'm looking here, like Ryan had 2 turnovers, or just I don't know what you call them, brain farts. Andre Deshaun he had a little rough there, but we made some poor decisions. We just, you know what, we just weren't great there, and some of it had to do with what they were doing. But I think we might have thought it'd be easier than it was offensively, and it wasn't. So we need to battle through, get some command out there, and do a better job.
Is there any concern, at least at this point, that Noah won't be available for ASU, or do you figure as long as nothing happens between now and then that he'll be good to go?
I'm sure he got cleared second half. I don't see any reason he'll be in. We got 8 days off, and we'll practice in 4 days or something. So he'll be fine.
How much did you wince a little bit when FA hit the floor on that dunk?
Every time he hits the floor, you always got to be worried. Any of them. I mean, that was like, even when Noah hit it, and like that guy, I didn't see what happened, but Noah's a pretty tough guy. So I thought he'd bounce back, and he will.
And then is there any update on Tony and DJ for conference play, or still taking that day by day?
It's day by day, but I think it'll be close. I don't know if I'll play them. They might be clear. I'd say they'd be on the button to be cleared by them, but I just know they probably need more practice time to be comfortable because they've missed so much time. Not DJ so much, but Tony has.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Colton Clark.
Hey, Kyle. So later in this game, did it kind of feel like one of those earlier season games in that did you kind of put the onus on your defense to finish it? And in that, what do you think they did, I guess, best in that respect?
Yeah, it did. I think Northwestern State played with a lot of purpose. They kept that game close. We couldn't, we need to make a 3 there to kind of take the pressure off, but the pressure kind of mounted. We missed free throws, and we went to zone, which was good for us because it kind of melted the clock a little bit. And we had about, I think, the first 6 possessions of zone. I don't think they scored on us, but we couldn't score on them. So it was just kind of a draw. So I guess that was to our favor. And I think we had 12 kills. We count kills as 3 stops in a row, and 12 is an absurd number. So they probably had 11. So we were guarding well. We were doing okay.
Obviously, it wasn't as great as their second half against Gonzaga, but I know they shot like 19% in the first half, and then midway through the second, I think they were up to like 53% or something. Is there anything to that, or was it just them getting a little bit of life, just hitting some shots?
You know what? They missed some easier shots than the ones they made. To be honest, they got that one kid who had 8 threes in the last 2 games against Gonzaga. What's his number? 10. He was 4 for 12. It felt like 8 for 12. He hit some tough ones and kept him going. And 12, we lost 12 a couple times. We had a couple times where we might have been able to separate, but we just kind of lost him twice. And threes are big in that game. And since we went 0 for 10 second half, that's a toughie.
But regardless, 8-0, does that do anything different? Is that extra fuel, coming into Pac-12, or is that kind of rear view mirror type stuff?
It needs to be rear view mirror. You're only as good as your next game. And I think it's fuel for Arizona State. I think they're like, hey, these guys haven't lost. And, obviously, like I said, the competition talent level is goes up dramatically. I don't know if we'll see. There's some well-coached teams we played, and there's going to be some well-coached teams that are older and sporting some good talent. So we'll find out a lot about ourselves after the first weekend of league play. I guess we played Oregon State, but feels like it's starting up.
Thanks very much. Have a happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.